I remember getting my hopes up, but when the NFC West poll first went out, for like the first hour or two, Aaron Donald was leading. He was leading. But in a tight race, at 189 votes, Aaron Donald got 19%, Larry Fitzgerald got 15%, Marshawn Lynch got 38%, and Jerry Rice 28%. So, according to the iDOit community, Marshawn Lynch is our favorite NFC West player. And you know what? I don't hate it. Marshawn Lynch is a very likable guy. Off the field, I would never want to tackle that man in his prime, for sure. Now we are up to the AFC West. The AFC West, in by far the closest race of the whole tournament. We had Shannon Sharp, Charles Woodson, Patrick Mahomes, and LaDainian Tomlinson. 355 votes here. We had 19% of the people say Shannon Sharp, 17% of the people say Charles Woodson, 32% of the people saying Patrick Mahomes, and 31% of the people saying LaDainian Tomlinson, which meant Patrick Mahomes narrowly escaped the AFC West. 32% to 31%. That is wild. I wonder if people came back and saw the results, would they change their votes? Like the Charles Woodson or Shannon Sharp fans, just to spite Patrick Mahomes. I don't know, but that's crazy. 31%, 32%, 355 votes. Oof. Anyways, so that meant each of them got like just over 100 votes. And I'm gonna do the math later. I wish it would just tell me the exact numbers. That would be freaking awesome. Anyways, let's move on to the AFC North. Now, if anybody remembers, I accidentally put AFC South. One of those brain fart moments. But it was Ray Lewis, Troy Polamalu, Jim Brown, Chad Johnson. For some reason, I almost said Jim Duggan. I do not know why. And this is what was cool about this tournament. Guy like Jim Brown, who destroyed his own poll, the Browns poll, only received 8% of the votes here. Chad Johnson got 11% of the votes. Troy Polamalu got 36% of the votes. And Ray Lewis got 45% of the votes. Now, I can't say I'm surprised Ray Lewis won this poll, but I don't know. Chad Johnson's popular. Troy Polamalu's popular. I wonder how far Chad would have gone if I released these polls after him and Shannon's podcast. You know, recency bias is a thing, people. But let's move on. All right, here we are to the NFC North. 216 votes. We had Barry Sanders, Aaron Rodgers, Walter Payton, Randy Moss. And Randy Moss got 28% of the votes. Walter Payton, 15% of the votes. Aaron Rodgers, 10% of the votes. And then Barry Sanders walked away with 47% of votes. Yep. I don't know what else. Barry Sanders, 48% of the vote. 47% of 216 votes. I would have bet Randy Moss would have won this, but I don't know. I guess my community just loves Barry Sanders. Here's a real question. Who's greater all time in their position, Randy Moss or Barry Sanders? Who knows? Let's move on, though. We are to the AFC South. The AFC South came to Chris Johnson, Maurice Jones-Drew, Peyton Manning, and Andre Johnson. 262 people voted, and 22% of them voted for Chris Johnson. 5% of them voted for Maurice Jones-Drew. 62% of them voted for Peyton Manning. 12% of them voted for Andre Johnson. Now, I can't really say I'm surprised Maurice Jones-Drew came in last here. He did get 5% of the votes, though, so that's something. Peyton Manning, I think, was probably the obvious choice here, but Chris Johnson still took 22% of votes from him. Us Madden players remember him. Yeah, but yeah, that was Peyton's to lose, honestly. Alright, keep it moving, keep it moving. Alright, here we are at the NFC South. It was Warren Sapp, Steve Smith Sr., Deion Sanders, and Drew Brees. 237 votes, and 5% went with Warren Sapp. 16% went with Steve Smith Sr., 63% went with Deion Sanders, and Drew Brees came out with 16%. Meaning Drew Brees with the biggest, Deion Sanders with the biggest blowout of the, what would this be, divisional round? Second round? I'll just say second round, that's easier. Deion Sanders was the biggest blowout in the second round. Probably. But I'm pretty sure he was. Just keep going, keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. NFC East, we had Lawrence Taylor representing the Giants, Sean Taylor representing the Washington team, Emmitt Smith representing Dallas, and Brian Dawkins representing Philadelphia. And Brian Dawkins had 15%, Emmitt Smith 18%, Sean Taylor 19%, Lawrence Taylor 47%. So for a guy who I didn't even think was going to make it, is actually going on to the conference finals. Did that surprise any of you? I think it's unquestioned that he's the best player of the four, but I am surprised that he is the favorite of the four. Moving on, here we are, the AFC East. For some reason, I'm just noticing I wrote AFC East South. Anyways, we had Bruce Smith, Tom Brady, Dan Marino, and Darrelle Revis. Darrelle Revis. Now let's start from the top. Bruce Smith, 7% of 148 votes. Tom Brady, 55% of 148 votes. Dan Marino, 22% of 148 votes. And Darrelle Revis, 16% of 148 votes. Meaning Tom Brady, once again, walked away with this win. Yep, I don't know. Yep. Alright. That was the end of the divisional games. So I guess that was the division round. Here we are to the conference round. Alright? Yep, conference round. I remember it being closer at the time, but it was Deion Sanders representing the NFC South, Lawrence Taylor representing the NFC East, Barry Sanders representing the NFC North, and Marshawn Lynch representing the NFC West. Who won this, you might ask? Deion Sanders had 42% of the votes, Lawrence Taylor had 22% of the votes, Barry Sanders had 20% of the votes, and Marshawn Lynch had 17% of the votes, meaning Deion Sanders won the NFC with 42% of the voting. I remember somebody in the comments was very torn. He said, do I pick the greatest coverage player of all time or the greatest sack artist of all time? Something along those lines. In his opinion, these were the two greatest defenders of all time. And he has an argument there. But my community, the iDOit cartoons community, said Deion Sanders is our guy representing the NFC. Let's move on to the AFC. The AFC came down to, we had 134 people vote on it. It came down to Patrick Mahomes, Ray Lewis, Peyton Manning, and Tom Brady. 3 quarterbacks and a defensive quarterback. We had Patrick Mahomes get 16% of the vote, Ray Lewis 34% of the vote, Peyton Manning 20% of the votes, Tom Brady 31% of the votes. Thank God. Meaning Ray Lewis is the representative of the AFC. That one shocked me a little bit. I did not know my community loved Ray Lewis so much. So then there were two. It came down to Ray Lewis. Oh yeah, that's right. For fun, I wanted to take the lowest percentages and see who was my community's least favorite player of all the players. Now you can look at this two ways. It's either Reggie Wayne, Dak Prescott, Jamar Chase, or Kyler Murray. Now, Reggie Wayne got 48% of the votes. Dak Prescott got 13% of the votes. Jamar Chase got 30% of the votes. Kyler Murray got 10% of the votes. Now, is Reggie Wayne your least favorite player, or is Kyler Murray your least favorite player? Highest percentage, lowest percentage. I don't know, but I thought that was interesting. And now for the main event. 169 people voted. It came down to Deion Sanders, Ray Lewis, and Deion Sanders got 70% of the votes. Ray Lewis got 30% of the votes, meaning Deion Sanders was that guy. Deion Sanders, 70% of the votes out of 169 votes, meaning he got at least, 100 of those votes? 120 of those votes? Anyways, it doesn't even matter because Deion Sanders was the first video that, like, I don't know if you blow up on my channel. I mean, it's nothing to like big YouTubers, but for me it was big. Got me over 500 subscribers. I owe Deion Sanders a big thank you. And I guess this is my way of showing it, because 12 days ago the community said Deion Sanders was our favorite player. And you know what? He's mine now also. That didn't play for the Rams. I'm sorry, I can't go that far. Deion Sanders, the iDOit cartoon's favorite player. Deion Sanders, his jersey goes up in the rafters of the non-existing iDOit cartoon stadium. This was fun. Took an hour to record. The video was definitely not going to be an hour. But I hope you enjoyed. I hope you watched. And I hope we have some cool polls going on for the future. Thank you for watching if you did. I want to see if this actually works for even me. Hit that like button. Did it glow? I don't know. Can't see it. And if you liked it so much, hit that subscribe button. Did that glow? I really want to see if it works. Subscribe, like, subscribe, like, subscribe. Did they flash a lot there? I don't know. Let's see. But thank you.